Webcam or ex-sugar babies, ever a good idea for a relationship?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like saying, hey, what do you think about dating a stripper? Now, because sometimes strippers follow me, and whenever I comment about it, they get kind of pissed off and get upset in the comments. But the reality is, majority of those women that are doing those things typically just they got a missing father figure. There was no dad there, and in essence, you're dating a stripper. And the reality is, it's not in all cases because there are some women who are like, I just need the money. I got to take care of my kid or whatever. Got to go to school. They don't drink. They don't do drugs. They do anything. But if you're gonna date a stripper, there's a really high incidence of drugs and alcohol and sugar dating and doing stuff for money, and just things don't get disclosed. Because I've done a lot of, because a lot of times guys will come to me and they got a problem with the girl they're dating, and oftentimes they're trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. The woman's displaying all kinds of character flaws, lying, cheating, having lots of male orbiters, constantly giving out her phone number to guys that she knows from work, and basically interacting with other men and giving them the impression that she might be available, even though she's in a relationship or she lives with her boyfriend or she has a husband or whatever. There are women that are like that. And so that's part of the vetting process is like when you're dating, you got to find out what you're dealing with. Is she somebody that values loyalty, monogamy, exclusivity, family, and wants to only be with you? Or is she the kind of girl that grew up without a strong father figure or masculine presence in the household? And so she has a very dysfunctional way of fulfilling her need for masculine energy by inviting it from all dudes, even when she's in a relationship. And so guys get really upset or they have problems with women that are like that, that are giving out their number, or they have lots of male orbiters or guy friends, or they have a boyfriend and unbeknownst to the boyfriend, she also has a bunch of sugar daddies, some of them she's sleeping with. I did a video a few years ago, an interview with Anthony Dream Johnson, the president of the Manosphere. And he was married, he had a wife for, I don't know, they were together for a couple of years, and he finally figured out, I can't remember the turn of events, but he did a whole presentation, a couple hour lecture on it, and I did an interview but with him on my channel years ago. I think it was called Marrying Medusa, the Woman from Hell, or something like that. And so she was basically a call girl, and they were married, and he had no idea that she had this whole other shadow life that was going on. They were having sex all the time, and he's thinking, hey, my relationship is great, but meanwhile, she's got other dudes that she's going to and hanging out with and getting paid to have sex with them. And that's, as a man, that's not something you want to, you presenting this woman to the world. This is your wife. Meanwhile, there's other dudes that are paying her to have sex with her. And so you just are typically going to see a high incidence in women like that. Plus, there's also a lot of lying and a lot of deviousness. And so you got to take it on a case by case basis. But if you're going to get involved with women like that, I've seen countless examples over the years of dudes that dated women like this. They started on a sugar dating website, and then they became exclusive. And then come to find out later on, when things aren't going well, she's already talking to other sugar daddies again and getting money, or the guy notices that, especially if she's not working, he's giving her money. The amount of stuff that she has and the things that she does, she's obviously spending way beyond her means. And if she supposedly is getting all her money from him because they're together,
He knows.
then it's obvious there is
Yeah.
another source of income that she hasn't revealed. So does she keep her word? Is she honest? Does she love her mom, her dad? Is she close to her parents? Her parents have a good relationship. Typically, those kinds of girls, the webcam girls, the seeking arrangements girls, the strippers, just a super high incidence of drug problems, dishonesty, lying, cheating, drama, dysfunctionality, just messed up stuff going on. And so if you're going to get involved, you're going to have to take it on a case by case basis, but just keep in mind that's like, I remember my uncle, he was talking about, he was 2 weeks in Vietnam in it was 1967, I think 68, when things were like getting really bad over there. And so the guy that was in charge of sergeant or whatever is like, well, we're going to walk through this minefield here. And I remember he's telling me this story, very matter of fact. I was like, what? He's like, really? He says, he said that? And he says, no, well, you might as well have, because it was clearly a sign that said this was a minefield. And the sergeant was just assumed that it had been demined and it was okay. And so they just started walking through it, and I don't know how far in they got to it, but the guy, I think it was in front of my uncle, stepped on a landmine and blew his legs off. And so he's laying there, and he's the first thing out of his mouth is like, I can't believe I came to Vietnam and got my legs blown off. And, so the point being is that you get involved with women that have a questionable background, you shouldn't be surprised at a high incidence of drama, of lying, of cheating, of drug problems, of family problems, baby daddy problems, girls that have kids with multiple different men, just all kinds of devious, type of behavior. So, hey, my job as a coach is to help you get what you want. But, I mean, if you got to think about dating as kind of like fishing. It's like, what is the quality of the pond that you're fishing out of? So if you're trying to, find your future wife on a sugar dating website, you got to understand those are transactional based women. It's just like every guy that's ever gone and seen a stripper that he really likes. He's like, but she really likes me, Corey. You don't understand. We really have something. And I was like, that's the business that she's in, bro. She's there to make you think she really likes you and she's really into you because you give her more money that way. So it's like, use a little common sense.
Go into the bad pond, you come out with a fish with two heads.
Or like in like where I used to live in Pompano, they had a lot of canals that the Army Corps of Engineers had dug in like the 50s and early 60s, and most of the water is brackish, and so the fish are like, there people would fish off the bridges and stuff, and they would catch mullet. And so it was this, gnarly looking fish that is, eating God knows what off the bottom of these canals where you have all the runoff or whatever. And, it wasn't a good looking or a healthy looking fish, but people are eating it, So you got to think in terms of where you're fishing is going to determine the quality of the fish you catch. Quality of your mermaids. Hopefully not a merman.
A merman.
A merman disguised as a mermaid.
Oh my God.